Hey gang, Ronnie here. Welcome on back to the Cade as we are carrying on with Sports Saturday and Week 2 of Sega Sports NFL 2K2 in our great what if. What if we were able to take the New England Patriots and win the Super Bowl and start a dynasty that we have all known and to varying degrees liked or greatly loathed for the last 25 years, but without Tom Brady. In this game, as a refresher, Tom Brady's not a part of it. So he's nowhere on the roster. We can't sign him. He's not in this game. So what we're going to have to do is, if we want to be able to do this, we've got to win with his predecessor, Drew Bledsoe, who was a #1 pick himself in the 1993 draft, was a good quarterback, but he wasn't Tom Brady. So in week 1, we were able to get by the Cincinnati Bengals, although at the end of that episode, we did find out inadvertently that we simulated the next week by mistake and managed to end up chalking that up as a loss when we had to rethink about it in the office the day after. We're like, you know what? That's an episode of content that we missed out on, and even though our overall goal isn't to go undefeated, our goal is obviously to win the Super Bowl, but, let's at least give it an honest run and make sure we can, if we win or lose, we do it out of our own accord. So for this week, we are going to take on the Carolina Panthers, and we are going to go down to the great Tar Heel State and take them on. Now, I don't know who the quarterback is for Carolina in this game. I don't think it's Cam Newton yet. It might still be Jake Delhomme, for all I know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, here on the Sega Sports Network. I'm Dan Stevens along with Peter O'Keefe.
So let's get this game underway, shall we? We'll decide the coin toss. You know what? We will kick today. That way we will get the ball to start the second half. And I'm hoping this game, since it's week 2, should take about a half an hour thereabouts. Again, we're playing 5-minute quarters on standard difficulty, so we will just see how this all shakes out. Not a booming kick, as it's taken at the 20. And Steve Smith, who is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, if you don't know, one of the best trash talkers in the NFL for a long time. He ticked a lot of people off, but he could back it up as well as anybody. And Willie McGinnis out of USC blew that play up in the backfield.
Oh, their coach is getting furious.
Oh, boy.
They're really digging themselves quite a hole out there.
You know, the defense is running the table out there, Peter. They can taste blood.
So Lewis is the quarterback. I'll have to figure out who that is. It might be Jeff Lewis. I think that's who I'm thinking of. And he just chucks it away.
Third and long coming up.
Let's see who this is. Yeah, I want to say I think it's Jeff Lewis. All right, so third down.
It's 3rd and 15.
We got an empty backfield. Oh, we wrapped him up and sacked him. Willie got through the line.
They really made a statement
So
on
we
that
got a
drive, Dan.
tackle for a loss and 1 sack, and we got him just by the ankles. And the nice thing about this game is that while there are penalties on, obviously, this was at a time when, seriously, you could do a lot more damage to players, and games like this didn't really take that sort of stuff into account. Now, obviously, knowing what we know about football and CTE and injuries and everything that goes into playing this game, with all the advancements and all the rule changes and everything, you may not like it, but there's no escaping.
First to crack that scoreboard. They have an opportunity here to take an early lead.
So we got good field position just around the 45-yard line with about 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Got our man Drew behind center. Hand off to Redmond. Oh, I thought I had a seam there, but I still picked up 3.
A gain of 3.
Second down, 7 yards to go.
It's second and about 7 yards.
Oh, and that's going to be an offside, which will be nice for us. So encroachment is when a member of the defensive line jumps the gun before the snap. If a member of the offensive side does it, that is called a false start. We would have lost 5 yards.
On the ball.
But that now makes it 2nd and 2. But also stops the clock. I mean, not a huge deal. Oh, and I got tripped up and dropped. So I'll make it 3rd and 3.
Jimmy Hitchcock had a nice read, sending the team back a few yards and their coach back to the drawing board.
Oh, he really yanked away any shot at forward progress, Peter. Nice coverage. It's 3rd and about 3.
All right, let's see what we can do here. Let it go, and it's caught. 1st down, and we are inside Carolina territory. I got lucky there.
Charles Johnson delivers a big play with a monster catch.
Threw that
That's a
into
first down
coverage.
with some style.
1st and 10.
That could have been picked off. And there was a guy coming right at Drew who would have sacked him if I hadn't gotten it off in time.
Dodges the defender. 50 takes the tackle.
There we go. Good pickup of 9.
It's up a lot of ground on the first down. It's all about getting that yardage.
It's put this offense in very good position. They've got 2 downs to travel a very short way. Ball at the 26-yard line.
Now we got 1 more yard to go. Still on his feet, still going. Picks up the 1st down and then some. That's a high-value play right there. He got popped 3 different ways and managed to stay on his feet.
They can count on him to make those crucial conversions. Nothing flashy, just good football. Ball at the 20-yard line.
All right, see if we can't get a little bit closer here.
Spirals at middle.
Ooh, almost picked off. I got away with one there.
Room to move there, but was unable to catch the football. He can't be happy with how that one turned out.
Let's go with a good old-fashioned off tackle. And as I said last week, if you understand the basics of how to play football, this game is not super hard. Still on his feet, and we're close to another 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
The 1st down, but he ate up a lot of ground. They just need to clean their plate on 3rd down.
I knew the food references would be here somewhere. 3rd and 1.
Go to the fullback, bashing his way forward, and how is that not a touchdown?
The Panthers are getting battered around out there. Their defensive line is providing.
That's sitting on the doorstep.
It's 1st and goal.
And we're in. Touchdown. 6 points. And we got a minute to go in this first quarter.
Close enough that he just needed the right hole to get inside, and he got it.
The funny thing about the Patriots back in the early 2000s was that we weren't a terrible team. It's that, like everybody, nobody expected us to become what they ultimately were. I certainly didn't, and I was a born and raised New England Patriots fan since the early 1980s. There were a lot of people who thought, well, if we couldn't win with Drew Bledsoe and he was the #1 pick, when he got hurt the way he did in week 3 of the 2001 season, what is this scrawny kid who was taken 199th in the draft going to do? You know, Tom Brady was very much considered a genuine afterthought. Now, obviously, he proved all of us to be completely wrong. His history bears that out. Again, you might not like it, but the proof is in the pudding. As comedian Dennis Miller once described about Terry Bradshaw, guy's got more rings than a married pimp.
The Panthers have the ball at the 24, and that's where they'll start this drive.
And he's wrapped up and sacked again. I got lucky there because he rolled out. Everybody converged on the line.
I think they even got knocked back a bit. What a blow to this offense's morale.
They can't let that stand.
That wasn't necessarily the play I wanted to run either. I didn't want to run that atomic blitz.
Ball at the 22-yard line.
And he's sacked again. Teddy Bruschi, Patriots Hall of Famer. Won't be an NFL Hall of Famer, but he was one of those guys that when the Patriots started making their run and the Dynasty was built, he was definitely one of the cornerstones of it.
That's true, Dan, although being able to bench press the team bus doesn't hurt.
Just a good, solid, hard-working guy who a lot of people didn't realize at the time was going through a lot of health problems. Like at one point, I think towards the end of his career, he had a stroke. Which, again, in a contact sport where you get your head bashed around, that's gonna happen, or at least it's gonna increase the likelihood of it.
They're going to give away some great field position here, Dan.
But it's 4th and 16, so we will get to cover the punt with 1 second to go in the first quarter. So we're through one, and we are up 7-0 on the Carolina Panthers, and we've got the ball at the 42-yard line. That's what I want. Now, I have had some people ask me in the comments, and they about what's the point in doing this? And like we said, one, because it was just interesting idea, and when we were trying to determine which game we were going to play, one of my cohorts, when they brought it up to or showed us this game, was like, "Do you realize Brady's not in it?" And one of the things that's always discussed in sports, at least in like coffee shops and sports bars and people who know sports, people who like sports, it's always that thing of what if. Ooh, and I hit the wrong button and I got smacked.
Dan Morgan drives a crosstown bus through the opposition.
Yep, because I should have let it go and I didn't.
Revved up. I think the quarterback can expect to go horizontal a few more times today.
Hey, Dan, speaking of which, what did Sega
But it's
Sports
the
say about
idea
me
of
putting a
things
receiver
like
in here?
I'll
if
get back to us.
the Portland Trailblazers had drafted Michael Jordan in the 80s instead of the Bulls. What if Patrick Ewing hadn't gone to the Knicks? What if Dan Marino had won a Super Bowl? There are all these things that we discuss as sports fans in purely hypothetical terms. We know it didn't happen. We know what happened. But there's always that question of what if this? And that's where the interest in doing this series came from. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who would be like, yeah, what if the Patriots didn't have Brady? What if they didn't have Belichick? What if that confluence of players and circumstances and all the things that came together to make the Patriots dynasty had not occurred? How would the world be different? How would football be different? How would sports be different? And we look at it not just in terms of what happens in real time with current players. We go back and think about, what if Jim Brown played football today? What would he be like? What if Wilt Chamberlain played basketball today? What would he be like with the rules as they are? Now, if you look at the way history pans out, I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that... Oh, can I get to him? Oh, nope. Nope, I didn't, and I couldn't pick it off. But if you think about it in terms of what has happened, I mean, a lot of amazing things have happened in both sports history in the last 100, 150 years. I mean, sad to say, that's been discussed a lot in the past week with the passing of Willie Mays. Willie Mays, if you don't know, was arguably the greatest all-around baseball player who's ever lived. And you may not think he is, but if you ask anybody who knows baseball and knows baseball history, they didn't have to have seen him play, but the stats back it up, both offensively and defensively. Willie Mays could do everything. And there was a lot of interesting discussions about, okay, now that he has passed away, sadly, I mean, granted, he was 93 years old. So, it was something that people knew was in definite inevitability, sooner rather than later, was going to happen. But now that it has, it brings up the question of who fills that void as the greatest living baseball player. For the majority of my lifetime, it was Willie. You could argue about Joe DiMaggio, you could argue about Mickey Mantle, you could argue about Hank Aaron, all the other claimants, but he was, as they like to say, he was on the Rushmore. And the same question was brought up of, okay, well, now if you think about it, who's the greatest living football player now that Jim Brown passed away? And granted, Jim Brown passed away, if I remember it right, 2 years ago, so it's been a while. But they've been talking about, well, now Tom Brady is. Well, if Tom Brady is, what does that say about Jerry Rice? Because Jerry Rice has statistics as a football player that are on par with what Brady did, just as a wide receiver.
I'm not getting why that wasn't a completion. I mean, he was right there.
And I watched Jerry Rice's career from beginning to end. I saw it all. And he is, hands down, one of the greatest football players I've ever seen. And I can say that as somebody who saw Walter Payton play. I can say that as somebody who saw Barry Sanders play. I can say that as somebody who saw Tom Brady play. Jerry Rice was a freak, but he was a freak in the best way possible. He was a freak because he prepared himself so much to play football that he was the sort of guy that was at his best late in the game when everybody else was wiped out. You're playing a 3-hour game, even though the game only lasts 60 minutes.
Yep, they're trying to figure out just what the heck went wrong on that pass.
It's not a matter of assigning blame,
and
although it might
Jerry
look that
Rice,
way.
when he needed it, could drop an extra gear. He was never the fastest guy on the field either. But if he needed to get yards and he needed to get away from somebody, he knew how to do it. So now they're in the hurry up. And they stop the clock with 1:14. So we're still up 7-0 as we're getting close to halftime. But we got to stop them here because they're getting pretty close to that end zone. That'll help to Bucky Jones. And he gets the sack. Willie McGinnis with his second of the ball game.
Willie McGinnis makes a critical play there to force the fourth down and bring on the punting unit.
I'm going to say, are they going to punt it or are they going to go for the field goal? I think they're going for the field goal. This will likely be the last play of the half. Because there's a 10-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. So they're just going to let this wind on down, and by the time it gets to about 2-3 seconds on that clock on the right, they'll snap it and try and kick it. Now, we did have this happen last week where they kicked the field goal and missed it. And not only did we grab it, but we returned it all the way to the house for a touchdown. And they missed this one with 8 seconds to go.
Connect on that kick. Tough break.
Now, I could try and run a play here, but instead I'm just going to take a knee because we get the ball back to start the second half anyway. And we'll let the clock run down to halftime. And we'll go to the locker room up 7-0.
The first half. The Patriots currently enjoying a small advantage.
So we haven't done too badly. We've got 41 rush yards, but only 8 passing yards. Yick. We got to do something about that in the second half. But if we can tack on an early touchdown, they'll put us up 2 scores.
Casey gives the signal, and we're ready to start the second half. I understand that Michelle Westfall is down on the field and has a report for us. Michelle?
During halftime, I had an opportunity to speak with the head coach of the Patriots. The central point of our discussion regarded the defense.
All right, so we got decent field position. We will start our 24-yard line, 1st and 10.
Thanks, Michelle.
Now, if there's one thing that I don't like about this game is that the play variety is not great. Like, it's good to obviously have a differentiation between run plays and pass plays. But the pass plays don't really go... They're not the sort of pass plays I like to run.
Ball on the 27.
Like, I'm the sort of guy who does like to... I like a good vertical game, and I like to go deep. But we get the first down right there. I'll take that.
Troy Brown got hit hard on that one, but when the smoke cleared, he still was able to hang on to the football.
That is great determination on his part. He just will not give up. It's 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 for us here with about a minute gone in the third.
Morgan makes sure he doesn't get far and tackles him right past the line of scrimmage. A gain of 2.
8 yards to go.
All right, see if we can't catch him out in the flat here.
Barely gets it off. It's caught near the sideline.
And we get the first down. So we're 4 of 5 for 29 yards. So it's not like we're doing too badly passing. We're just not accumulating a lot of yardage. Which is why I like having... I like having a place where I can go deep and having receivers that I can just chuck it to. Like, I like big chunk plays. And obviously we don't have Gronk in this game because I don't think at this point... In 2001, 2002, I don't think Rob Gronkowski was more than 3 years old, which makes me feel really frickin' old. Or if anything, he may have been. I'll have to think about that. Actually, if I think about it, he was probably in like elementary school or junior high in 2001. Still makes me feel damn old.
Spitting distance of 3rd down.
Well, I'm sure he'd rather be over the line, but that's a good run, and it leaves his team in good shape to convert. It's 3rd and 2.
All right, 3rd and 2. And we got enough for the first down.
They've got a first down.
J.R. Redmond and ran it in for the first down.
A short but significant play.
Let's see if we can go back to the air and pick up some yardage here.
Short runs consistently. They're the most valuable members of an offense.
Try and run a comebacker. Whew, I got lucky there. That was almost picked off again.
Even after taking a mercy hit.
What? He got pounded there. You call that a mercy hit?
Yeah, because when you see it, all you can say is, whoop, mercy.
Ball on the 30.
We hop along forward for another first down, but Redmond's having a good game, 54 yards rushing.
Ball on the 24. The Patriots have it. 25.
Ooh, and he got hit and lost the football, but we got it back, but we lost 8 on the play.
Cover the loose ball.
That was not helpful.
Driving them way back.
That's a play I'll bet they wish they could get back. How embarrassing. 2nd and 18. 50.
Oh, now we pissed off the Panthers because they're coming in hot.
Well, we've got a couple of losses in a row. Good defense.
Nowhere to run, baby. No place to pass to either, with these guys on the case.
3rd and 20.
All right, we're going to have to find something big here.
Throws middle. Eventually makes the tackle.
So we're within field goal range. It's 4th and 6 at their 20. So we will go for the field goal. We will get some points on the board, hopefully. This will be a 37-yard field goal for Adam Vinatieri, and it'll be fairly right down the pipe. I just got to make sure I have enough power on this kick. Oh, yeah, we got it. No doubter. So that makes it 10-0 with 11 seconds to go in the third.
Concentration on those medium-range shots.
Yep, you're far enough away that things can start to go wrong if you don't account for them.
But not so far that your teammates are going to.
Oh, there's going to be a terrible kick. It's basically be a squib kick.
Far from over. They're now leading to the tune of 10-0. Vinatieri is back to kick it away.
So good field position for Carolina with 7 seconds to go in the third.
They've got to figure out why their offense isn't working and fix it fast.
The Panthers are on the field for the first time this half.
But for the most part, we've been controlling this game fairly well. And that should be the last play of the quarter. And it is. So we go to the fourth, we're up 10-0. Not a high-scoring affair for sure.
So they lead 10-0.
And sometimes that is part of the problem with games like this, is that you're expecting to get into shootouts, and instead, nearly a bullet gets fired.
Pitches it.
Look how much more effective they are at stopping the run. Credit has to go to the D-line.
Timmy Biakapatuka, Penn State product as I recall, who his career never went anywhere.
It's now 3rd and 12.
There was a period in the 90s and into the early 2000s where if you're a running back,
It's picked up. With the tackle.
odds are you barely got to play a full season.
Big play and
Like there were guys who got drafted who were expected to be like really, really big deals, and they never got anywhere.
Sauerbrunn will punt it away after a 3-and-out.
And Tim Biakapatuka was one of them. There are guys like him, Kajana Carter.
Good punt here. Brown catches it. Stops the return man in his tracks and makes the tackle.
All right, so we got 4 minutes to go. An insurance touchdown would be
Playing
nice.
their kind of football.
The Patriots are on the field after the punt. They're up 10-0. Makes
That's close to a first down.
Johnson got creamed like cafeteria corn on that play and still managed to retain the ball. You can't coach willpower like that.
Oh, the 39-yard line. Escapes a
Well, we definitely got the first down there. So 14 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown for J.R. Redmond, who, again, was not a guy who...
Well, if you move
He's
those
not any
chains,
real
doesn't
record
matter
books
if
that
you
I'm
ran
aware
2
of
or
as far as
20
his career
yards to
went,
do it.
but
1st and 10.
he's the sort of guy who managed to do enough. As did Bert Emanuel. If I remember right, he ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a while. Had a, what they call a serviceable career, but
You got that right, Peter. They were more
again,
than
nothing
ready for it,
really to
and
write
they were able
home
to
about.
buy time for their
And that was the
general
thing with
behind
New
the
England,
line.
was that we had guys who were... The whole thing about the Patriot way and all that stuff, there was a lot of validity to it insofar that, yeah, it was just guys who were able to fill certain roles and do, I hate to put it, but it's the cliche now, do their job really well. And another first down.
Right here. He's just lighting it up. And the defense is going to have to try and find something to try to stop him.
First down, 10 yards to go.
Let's see here.
It's 1st and 10.
Can we try and get one to Troy? We'll see.
Pass is no good.
Oh, I thought I had it to him.
Doug Evans is a one-man wrecking crew out there. Man, he's fun to watch.
He had that zone all to himself, and I think that's how he likes it.
And he certainly didn't need any help out there.
All on the 31.
If he had been able to pull that in, that might have been 6.
Gets upfield.
But that puts us at the 2-minute warning.
J.R. Redmond has a nice run that puts them in good shape.
So
for
we are
third
definitely
down.
chopping down the time off the clock here, which is good, and it's
Serving
3rd
up a
and short.
shutout, 10-0. 3rd and about a foot. Escapes us to the back.
We'll go to our big fullback again, Mark Edwards, which is a nice little card to have in the deck.
Panthers take their first time.
A fullback is usually a bigger guy who isn't as fast and is good at blocking.
Ball at the 15-yard line.
So they can block for the halfback, but if you need like short yardage stuff like that, they're the guy you want to go to.
Cross is right. Visser prevents him from going anywhere. Nice tackle. The
So I'm in Carolina use their timeouts here.
Second timeout.
Which means they only got 2 left.
10 yards to go.
Clock shows a minute 49 seconds left. Barely gets it off.
Troy Brown and his band of renown
Troy Brown
gets us
had the
that
timing
touchdown we
needed
were
to
looking
get to the
for,
end
and
zone
it's
was open
16-0
for the touchdown.
A great throw. and
with about a
great
minute
play
46
for
to
this
go.
offense.
You know, anytime you can skip the goal line stand stuff and go right to the points, hey, that's a successful drive.
Vinatieri will line up for the point.
So we get Drew a passing touchdown. And the point after is good.
Vinatieri adds the extra point. The Patriots, after that score, have a comfortable
10 plays, 70 yards, and 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Good old-fashioned clock-killing drive right there.
Vinatieri
And we get a good kick to go along with it.
ready for the kickoff.
Give it the boot.
This is a nice kick. Bird has it. Smith makes the stop on the return.
All right, so they got a minute 41, and they need to come up with 17 points of their own,
That clock is just
which puts us
ticking
in
away.
the highly improbable territory.
The Panthers
Because I'm certainly not going to try and give them that opportunity here. Well, no sooner do I say that, they pick up a nice big old chunk play right there.
give that man the first down.
Well, I feel stupid.
Ball on the 37. Throws middle. Johnson is really
And somebody is
shaken up on
hurt.
that play. We'll get a full report
Ooh,
as
it's one of
soon
my
as
guys. Uh-oh.
The pass is incomplete.
That's not good.
4 on the game clock.
We also stopped the clock. But it's 2nd and 10.
It's picked up.
Oh, Dan, look at how much
And
more
incomplete as he
effective they
dropped
are
it. It was looking for
stopping
Biaka
the
Patuka
Credit's
again.
got to go to the DBs, who are playing some of the best football they've ever played.
I wouldn't go that far. I was fairly far off the ball on that pass.
Dumps it right.
Tried to get him for the sack. Johnson's out for 3 series with a bruised shoulder. Well, it could be worse.
Clock is down to a minute. Ball is juggled,
And gets
but
drilled as he went to catch it.
Number 49 got a piece of it, but just couldn't get control.
All right,
he
so we're going to
should,
go with a dime
renegotiate
setup. A
his
dime setup as
contract
opposed to
so
a
they pay him
nickel.
by the finger.
In a nickel formation, you have 2 linebackers behind the front 4 and 5 defensive backs. In a dime, you have 1 linebacker and 6 defensive backs.
Barely gets it off. He's caught in the backfield. Forces him out of bounds, and that will
J.R. Redmond, the Sega player of the game.
Biaka Patuka made a
The only problem is he got knocked out of bounds.
step ahead of him, but he was able to extend his arms and pull it in.
Yeah, he could have opted for a dive to ensure he got that ball, but he played it smart, staying on his feet.
So it's 3rd and
keeping
6.
the play going. Clock. Dumps it off. He couldn't hold
And
on to
incomplete,
that
looking for
play.
Biaka Patuka again.
You know,
Big
Dan, with
Biaka
the
Patuka
clock
stands for
winding down,
boards
their
for
backs are
hands.
against the wall. They've got to go for it.
It would be an incredible comeback if they could close the gap. They've got to convert here, and they've got to work fast. Sauerbrunn is
Oh, they're
ready
gonna
for
punt
his
it.
4th
Okay.
punt of the game.
So they have conceded defeat. Have the Panthers. And Malloy is going to bring this ball back. And he'll bring it up to, where is he at here? 23. So,
The reins today.
44
If they
seconds
can
to go.
avoid
I
easy
can run a
lobs, they
play or
should be
two.
able to withstand any challenges.
44 seconds on the game clock.
Realistically, I can run
It's upfield.
Look at how well they
2
rushed
plays
the
and
man.
then stop the clock. And now, actually, he's close enough to
Really showing the other team
100
how to run the
yards
ball
that I want to get that for him.
31 seconds left on the clock. Room to the left.
And, well, he's got 88 yards.
And on the game clock.
And it's 3rd and 1.
Pitches. Takes it right side. He's tackled, and a
And it's enough for the first down, and that is the end of the ball game. So,
and that's the end.
we go to 2-0 in a familiar way as we beat Carolina 17-0. It was not the most exciting game, but unfortunately in the course of a season, you get these ones on top of the games that are right down to the wire. So how do we end up doing here? So 11 of 13 for Drew, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, sacked once. And Jarrett Redmond, 20 carries for 96 yards. And the 1 touchdown. So, all right. I mean, on the whole, not too bad. But that puts us to 2-0 on the season. And who will we face in the next game? We will take on the New York Jets, which is the game. If you look it back up on the schedule in 2001/2002, this is the game where Drew Bledsoe got hurt. He got hit by Mo Lewis, run out of bounds. And the Tom Brady era officially started. So, but we will get to that next week. In the meantime, if you've been enjoying the content, as always, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of new episodes as they come out. We will have Sucker Punch Sunday for you tomorrow as well, where we will play a classic fighting or fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation, as well as carrying on with our revisitation of Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. Those episodes will start back up again on Monday, and then we will have another episode on Wednesday. We're trying to get all this done in no small part because, I don't know about you, but if you've been playing games for a while, and if you know games like I do, the new Elden Ring DLC just dropped yesterday. And for somebody who got the Dark Souls bug hit me hard after playing Dark Souls Remastered. So I went out and got Elden Ring, and oh my god, that's an amazing game. And now I've got the DLC, so I mean, I want to get this stuff finished up and recorded so I can go play that. So if you're also following us on social media, do so at Ronan's Retrocade, both on Instagram and Threads. Help spread the word about us as we continue to build our subscriber base and make this channel bigger and better. My name is Ronan. It's been great to spend this Sports Saturday with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming. Stay cool out there, by the way. My God, is it hot in a lot of the world at the moment. So we will talk to you tomorrow for another edition of Sucker Punch Sunday. Bye.